What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to these Anfield Agenda player ratings after Liverpool and Arsenal drew 1-1 tonight, meaning Liverpool go into Christmas second in the table, 1 point behind leaders Arsenal. And I'm going to do what I always do. Go through the starting 11 and substitutes, giving them a score out of 10, asking you guys as always to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree? Do drop a like on the video. Most importantly, please do hit that subscribe button. So look, let's start off with Alisson Becker. I find this a difficult one actually to gauge for Alisson because it's not like we were peppered with shots. I'm a little bit confused as to where he was off to when he was coming out towards the edge of a 6-yard box for the Arsenal goal. Kind of got caught in no man's land. But other than that, I mean, his distribution was okay. I don't think he really did anything negative or positive. The game, I won't say passed him by, but he wasn't too needed today. So I'm going to give Alisson a score of 6 out of 10. Let us know if you agree or disagree with that one. Now we move into the defensive positions and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Look, his ball for Mohamed Salah was sensational. Still left Mo with a lot to do and Mo did it well. But I like Trent. I just wonder when Klopp is going to go and play him in midfield permanently. Today, we were exposed at times, but Konaté did well, particularly second half, in countering the space that was exploited when Trent went into midfield. First half, look, I disagree with a lot of people on the cause of our goal, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I thought Trent was okay today. He had the chance to hit the crossbar. People are going to slate him for it. I have a little bit of sympathy for him because I genuinely feel that ball took a little bit of an extra bobble just before he went to hit it, and that's why he hit the bar. You know Trent's technique. He's burying that most of the time. But I'm going to give him a score of 7 out of 10. Now we move on to Mr. Virgil van Dijk, our captain. I think him and Konaté pretty satisfied with their afternoon's work outside of the defending for the goal. I don't really feel it's on Virg for the goal, if I'm being honest. I know people are going to say Gakpo played him onside. But I think that Konaté lost his man, and I'll get to that in a moment. But for Virg, look, I think we defended well for most of the time. And we didn't really, Arsenal were restricted in their chances. So for that, I'm going to give Virg a score also of 7 out of 10. Konaté. So I'm going to say I think he's a fault for the goal. I'm going to explain why, but I also want you to understand that outside of that, and especially in the second half, I thought he played particularly well. Some fouls I wasn't happy with, but I do understand that he was also covering for Trent. But for the goal, the way I looked at this is, I see him battling with Gabriel on the edge of the box. I see him losing his man, and then his man getting on the header with Konaté 2 or 3 yards behind him with his hand in the air. That's what I think of the goal. Yes, you can say Gakpo played him onside. Yes, you can say Alisson was in no man's land. But we very rarely go man for man marking. In this situation, we were holding our line and he didn't track his runner and he lost the battle. That's my take on the goal. But outside of that, I thought he looked really good in the second half. Again, one situation that we cleared a ball with Trent in the 6-yard box when it was played across the front of the goal. Konaté was fantastic there, tracking the runner. I think it was Kai Havertz at the time. And look, he makes the game look easy at times with the way he goes about it. So we'll disagree because the chat think the goal was blamed elsewhere. But that aside, I think he played well. So I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 today for Ibu. Oh, I feel so bad for this next one. Tsimikas. It's a suspected broken collarbone. I say suspected because that's what Paul Joyce tweeted out, and we don't yet know the full extent of it. But it does look like we now have no naturally left-footed left back that's going to be playing. Yes, Chambers could do a job there. Gomez did a good job there, but you can't help but feel for Costas. He looked in an awful lot of pain when he went off. And I think he has marshalled this side of defence well in Andy Robertson's, since Robertson's been out. So I'm going to give Costas a score of 6 out of 10. But it's not because he did anything wrong. It's just because he didn't go through the entire game, obviously, with the injury. And I'm just trying to be balanced in the scoring. Wataru Endo. I mean, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I thought he was, in the second half, from the start of the second half, right up until maybe 65, 70 minutes when I think Arsenal found their way back into the game a bit. I thought Wataru Endo was exceptional. Pressing like a machine, winning tackles and disrupting that Arsenal play. High up the pitch, setting up attacks for us. Can't say enough good things about him. He is my man of the match today. He was your Anfield Agenda man of the match today in the poll. I think he was phenomenal. Absolutely. If this is what we can expect from Endo, sign me up, because if he can keep this up, he's very, very likeable. Very much easy to get behind. So I'm going to give Endo a 9 out of 10. I thought he was exceptional. Mr. Curtis Jones, I don't know why he was taken off, unless it was a fatigue thing or something like that from the medical department. But I thought Curtis Jones was doing well out there today. And his energy is phenomenal. So I disagree with the substitution of Curtis Jones. I thought that he had a big part to play in the game. And him and Dominic Szoboszlai and their energy levels, particularly with them getting back and defending, I think there's a lot to admire about them. So I'm going to give Curtis Jones a score of 8 out of 10 today. I thought he played very, very well. Now we move on to Mr. Dominic Szoboszlai. I mean, let me say, we can talk about Konaté covering for Trent at right back, but this dude played his part as well. There was a couple of occasions he was out there, that corner flag, fighting for balls with Martinelli, and I like it. I love seeing that side of his game. Probably wasn't at his best from an attacking threat today, but all in all, very good performance. And our midfield is the area I'm most happy with from this performance. So we'll give Dominic Szoboszlai a score of 8 as well. Same as Curtis Jones for me. I thought all of our midfielders, I mean, I can only applaud them. I thought they played well today. Mohamed Salah. So, the goal, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Does the right thing, cuts inside, gets a shot away, buries it past the keeper's near post. Little bit of a ricochet off Zinchenko, but doesn't matter. He got lucky, took the opportunity, buried it. After that, he laid off a good ball to Trent, right pass. Trent was unlucky, hit the bar. But there are also times where I feel the ball was bouncing off him a bit. His passing was a little bit wayward. And I think outside of the stuff we love him for, there's a little bit more, I think, left to come from Mo this season. I don't think we'd seen him at his best yet, as crazy as that might sound. So I'm going to give Mo a score of 7 out of 10 today. Very good goal from him. But outside of that, I've got to say I don't think it was a great game from him all around. Diaz, awful. You know, I have to say I have sympathy for Diaz, because of the situation with his family. I have to look at the human side of this. And Lucho and his family have been through a lot, which makes it even stranger for me that he got the nod today ahead of Darwin. Darwin has his own concerns, but I don't think Diaz is right at the minute. I don't think he looks anywhere near his brilliant best. A long, long way away from it from me. We all want them to succeed, and we want it to do well. But he's not there at the minute, and I feel like maybe with Jota coming back, Jurgen's going to have to give him a bit of a rest up, because he needs to process and get through what happened with his family, and we're just not seeing the Diaz that we know he's capable of. So, going to give him a score of 5. It would have been 4, but I'm trying to, again, be fair and balanced with what I'm doing because of what happened with his family. But he wasn't great today, he just wasn't. Gakpo. I don't like him in the number 9 position. I like him in behind the attack. Today, look, I don't think he did a lot right. I just don't think he impacted the game enough. That's probably the biggest criticism I can have of him. I don't remember feeling like he was going to make us have even an opportunity. I mean, I might be being harsh here, but I think the game passed him by. He will always look good in moments. He will always be able to protect the ball, and he does that very well. I don't know. I'm still at a loss as to trying to figure out where his best position is. Is it on the left? Is it through the centre? Is it behind the attack? I'm certainly leaning to behind the attacker on the left myself, but he's not prolific enough through the centre. He's not a goal sniffer. He doesn't have the instinct for me to play as a number 9, and he is not Bobby Firmino. So I'm going to give him a score of 6 today for Cody Gakpo. Moving on to Joe Gomez. Look, to come into the game like he did, and it was difficult for the last few minutes of the first half. But second half, Joe came out. He had 2 good opportunities they created for himself. He tested Raya twice. I thought he defended really well. He kept Saka very quiet. I'm nothing but complimentary about Joe Gomez today. I think that was a great performance from Joe. So I'm going to give Joe a score of 9. That's how highly I rated it. I thought he was brilliant second half. Darwin. So I don't know what measuring stick people want me to use for Darwin, because in my chat I was hearing he did more than Diaz did. Fair enough, but I'm still not going to sit here and say I think he played well when he came on. He had moments where he protected the ball well, cut inside, and rolled it across the edge of the box. I just still feel like he's trying too hard. And I think he needs to be given an extended run on the left, personally, and put Mohamed Salah through the centre. That's what I would do. I don't like inverted wingers. I'm fed up of it. I think we're too predictable. And even with Darwin out on the left, he's still having to cut inside. I don't know what to do with this, but Diaz needs to be benched for his own well-being. And with that, I hope Darwin plays himself into form if he gets the opportunities. But we are still talking now, I think, 12 games without a goal. And that's a pretty damning statistic for a striker. So I get he didn't start today, but I'm going to give him a score of 7. And I think that's more than fair. Gravenberch, again, nothing to add to the game. I know he was coming back from timeout, but he looked off it. He just looked a yard off. Passing, shocking. Protection of the ball, nowhere near as good as we're used to seeing from him. But I do think that you have to understand that he was off for a few weeks. He's come back into a game, but he never got up to the speed of the game for me. So he didn't have a positive impact. If anything, I think the substitutions today hindered us rather than helping us. So I'm going to give him a score of 5. Elliott, I think of the subs, probably the best for me anyway. Had a strike as soon as he came on that took a deflection and hit the outside of the post and was always looking to make something happen. He's probably knocking on the door for a start, and I think he'll get that soon, maybe against Burnley. I think he was okay today when he comes on, but I do hope he gets more opportunities. So we're going to give him a score of 7 out of 10. And lastly, but definitely not least, Mr. Jurgen Klopp. I find this one difficult because I don't disagree with the changes he made, but they didn't have an impact. But I find it hard to blame Jurgen for that. I do feel like he's still being too nice to certain people in that team that I think might need a bit of a kick up the backside. But look, bigger picture, we haven't hit our best patch yet. I'm hoping that he pushes and gets something in the January window, because right now that league title is there to be had, and I want us to be in the race for it. So I want Jurgen to get in the owner's ear. But I think if we can get a run together, we're a second half of the season team, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistic, and I'm not too disheartened after today. 1-1's okay outside of the robbery from VAR. So I've given Jurgen Klopp a score of 7 today. So my friends, that is our player ratings. We want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Please do drop a like on the video. Most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If I don't see you guys before Christmas, have yourself a wonderful Christmas. Thank you for your support of the channel, and we look forward to a 2024 where hopefully we see Liverpool lift some silverware and the channel and our community continues to grow. Thank you for watching.